gravitating towards our Power podcast. I'm your host, Austin Gravitt. We got my good old buddy, Tyler Kelly today. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Austin. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. A little bit under the weather. You know, it's a little cloudy where I am. We got we just got our lights fixed. Fortunately, though, you guys can see me today, but I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but it is what it is, man. I'm just excited to facilitate this conversation with you today, this podcast. So,
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I can hear you a little stuffy over there. That's all right. That's all right. It's that time of year. Yeah,
man. You know, we're transitioning slowly into 2017, so it's about this time, right after Christmas, we're gonna get it. But man, you know, I'm excited. I'm thrilled to chat and have everyone learn about your story and everything today, man. You know, it's crazy. We met initially through AJ, our mentor.
Yeah. And it's great. You know, thanks for having me. I mean, it's great. It's always great connecting with like-minded individuals. And that is how we initially met. We both had the same business mentor, and it just kind of took off from there. You know, he's got a great, like-minded, supportive, positive group of individuals. And, you know, obviously we connected right off the bat.
Yeah, no, and that was, what was that, back in was it 6 months ago or so?
I think the first one was April. I think that's where we both initially met him. We went to his live event over in New York, and that's where we hit it off. So that's where it kind of all started.
Yeah, man, I'm actually I want to have him on here. Been meaning to get him on here as well, so excited.
Great freaking guy, yeah. There's some great people out there in the world that are willing to, you know, give back to others, and he's definitely one of them. He's done a lot for both of us, that's for damn sure.
Well, likewise with you, man. I'm excited for everyone to hear your story today. You know, and learn about just everything you have to give to the world as well. So going into kind of your, you know, unique brand that you're building right now, you know, obviously you're a coach just like me as well. You're a sustainable fitness and lifestyle coach, which I really love because I feel like we share that same, you know, vibe of flexible dieting and not necessarily restricting yourself from the foods you love. And enjoying your lifestyle really and reaching your fitness goals along the journey. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, that's where I try to set myself apart from the field, because going through some of my struggles in the past, you know, I love being a part of the competitive bodybuilding community. And, you know, it's been a lot of restrictive habits. And I've gone through the process of, you know, eating on a restrictive diet, eating 6 times a day, you know, having to get my 8 hours of sleep. And I would kind of throw my life out the window, you know, I'm not going to go to this social event tonight because I'm not going to get my sleep. You know, and it was taking away other aspects of my life. And I'm like, God, there's got to be an easier way to get completely shredded, but have a normal life as well. And as we know now, it's been figured out, you know, the myths have been busted. You know, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to eat this many times a day and only stick with these food groups. You know, you can go out with the boys, have a couple beers here and there, enjoy some pizza. You know, you can live a sustainable lifestyle and still achieve that diced body that everybody, you know, dreams of. So yeah, and that's what it's all about promoting, you know, teaching people the right tools with the right content and giving them, you know, the tools they need to push towards their goals. So,
and absolutely, man, it's crazy because I was the same in your same shoes originally, like eating 6 meals a day, you know, working around Tupperware, you know, and having to think like I had to follow this exact, like, you know, if I had 1 beer, then I'm going to lose all my gains. Or if I eat like this, you know, piece of, you know, chocolate cake, I'm going to lose my abs. And really the reality is it's not that, man. If anything, you know, based off the science behind it too, like it can actually, you can see gains from, you know, having, like, let's say you eat pretty clean throughout the week and then you have what's called, you know, a refeed day or something. You can actually see, you know, an opposite effect. You can see, you know, progress that way. So, so what are your tools? I know you mentioned about, like, you know, following these tools, like, you know, tell us more about like your tools, like what your principles you follow.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, that's kind of like you said, you know, it's opening people's minds to understanding that these principles can work. You know, when we're posting up pictures of like ice cream and shit, and we're sitting at like 7% body fat, people are just like, how are you doing this? You know, you've got to be cheating somehow. You know, it's just opening up people's minds to understand that it can work in this way, you know, and that's where we're trying to make our mark. You know, show the world that this can be done. So it's all about flexibility and sustainability. So obviously we've got to take each person's, you know, individual needs and tailor it to their lifestyles, you know, so they got a busy work schedule, you know, you make their eating plan work around their schedule. You know, if they work an 8-hour day and they've got a job that they can't eat, you know, that's fine. You know, it's not about forcing somebody to eat those 6 times a day and cramming 3 meals in on their 8-hour work shift. You know, some people just can't make it happen. And that's where some people just throw it out the window, you know, oh, well, if it's not possible for me, I'm just not going to do it because it's not it's not going to be able to work for me. And that's not true. You know, you can make it work for every single individual. So that's what it's all about, is tailoring it to each individual, deciphering their meal plans, you know, getting their workout timing right, and just making it all work to where they can achieve that goal. And as you know, it's really more simple than it needs to be. I mean, you could break it down to basically, you know, it's all about calorie expenditure versus caloric intake. You know, it comes down to that big picture, you know, and all people get so caught up in, you know, oh, it's the specific foods, or, you know, I need to fast in the morning, or they get caught up in all the little stuff when they're not looking at the big picture. You know, I like to look at it as a pyramid sometimes. Some people focus on the minor stuff that doesn't make near as much of a difference as that big picture at the bottom.
Yeah, man, that's a really good point. And I notice a lot of people as well, if they worry about all the little things that, like, it's almost like, I guess a good analogy would be like, I don't actually want to use that now. It's not really good. But anyway, I was going to use one.
There's a lot of them.
But I probably couldn't explain it that well. Anyway, it's almost like, people focus on too much of they try to take, like, they go to chapter 20 when really they need to focus on chapter 1, you know, chapter 2.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, don't jump ahead of the story. Focus on, you know, the building blocks. You know, actually a better analogy, you know, it's like they try to build the roof first of a house before building the foundation, you know, and that's ultimately getting the macros down, getting the calories, you know, that's your foundational principles. So
good point. Yeah. And I think that has to do with a lot of marketing. You know, there's a lot of misleading information out there. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many people come to me and the first questions they ask are so, like, minute, like, hey, should I be taking caffeine when I first wake up? Will that help me lose more fat? Or, hey, should I be drinking a casein protein shake every night before I go to bed? I'm like, that's the first question you've got for me in terms of reaching your goal. Like, that's so minuscule, you know, and marketing has a lot to do with that, because obviously there's tons of supplement brands out there, you know. As you know, I could name thousands of pre-workouts now, you know, and they all do a similar thing, but that's what people's minds are caught on, you know, is these supplements that are going to help them, you know, miraculously achieve their goal, when in the long run, those make, you know, the smallest amount of effects. You know, other things have to be in place before you even pulling those into the sequence.
Yeah, man, you know, there's no magic pill. And, like, it's like the same thing with, you know, just building wealth. You know, you're not going to essentially become rich overnight and everything's going to be great. You know, it takes time, you know, a lot of effort and energy, and, you know, there isn't a magic solution that's going to instantly change everything overnight. So I think
absolutely. Yeah. And on a similar subject, you just broke to me that you're doing your first powerlifting meet in February. How freaking stoked are you about that?
Yeah, dude, I'm fired up, man. You know, what is it? February 25th. I'm really fired up, man, because it's definitely out of my realm of training, what I've done in the past. You know, I was on that traditional bro split. I had this conversation with Nick Cheadle a while back, because I was on, you know, 5-6 days a week, single body part. And I mean, for years I saw gains, but I didn't necessarily build, I would say, good size. I was sore a lot of time, and I wasn't building, like, you know, continual size, as if when I switched to more of multi, body part compound movements, I saw not only my strength skyrocket, but my, my mass. I built a little bit more lean mass. And I'm excited about the meet though, man. It's, like I said, it's out of my element, in totally different environment. But yeah, I want to get those numbers up, man. You know how it is. He trained in that same environment as well. So.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they go hand in hand, obviously in terms of powerlifting, a lot of people think you're going to build that big, blocky, ugly, thick looking physique, and it's all about volume, as people learn, working with us professional coaches too. Powerlifting adds volume to your workout routines, and as long as you're increasing volume, you're going to increase muscle size as well. So they really do go hand in hand. And, it's a great atmosphere, as you're going to realize, and as you probably already have realized, it's a very, very supportive atmosphere. Everybody is looking out for each other, and there's really no one to blame but yourself. It's either you're getting stronger and you lift that weight up, or you don't. There's really no one to blame. So it's such a great sport to push yourself and watch you strive for more,
Yeah, man, that's a good point. I think what I see it the other day too, is Nick Cheadle was talking about it too, is like volume, increasing the volume over time is what's going to make the biggest difference. And I think a lot of people listening in should try it out. Try to do multiple compound, or try to do multiple body part workouts multiple times a week. So like doing bench press throughout the week spread out, maybe 4 sets, 5, 6 sets a workout, rather than trying to cram it all in and do like 20 sets per workout. I think that's over time a more effective method, as a natural lift, so. You know, but what is it? Protein synthesis is like 36 hours at peaks, I think it is, or something like that. Want to say? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's right in that realm.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if you're
You're all scientific, but
yeah, we try to keep it simple here. But, you know,
right.
if you're hitting chest, you know, Monday and you wait all the way till next Monday, you know, you missed a lot of time where you could have hit it in that 7-day period. You know, you have 36 hours.
Very true.
Yeah, so I think
very
that's
true.
one thing. So
absolutely, yeah, it's all about that volume.
Going back to you know, let's say, and we'll touch on a little bit of the powerlifting as well. Let's say you have a guy that's 20% body fat and he wants to get down to 10% body fat. Like, you were going to coach him, you know, what tools would you, like, what simple strategies would you implement for that guy? Like, you know, from your point of view.
Yeah. So the first step I always have with every individual, regardless of their goal, whether it's fat loss right off the bat, I always have a mandatory reverse diet period, because everybody's metabolism is not going to be in an optimal state where I want it to be to achieve that goal. So if they're already coming to me at 20% body fat and they want to achieve 10% body fat and lose 20 pounds or so, but they're only eating 1,800 calories a day as a male, that's extremely low, you know? So to reach that fat loss goal from that point, we'd have to decrease those calories even lower. Once again, not sustainable, not fun, and their metabolism is going to crash in no time. So the reverse diet period is going to build their caloric intake up at a slow enough rate so where they're not gaining weight or gaining body fat. And then they're at a set point to where they're high enough caloric wise to where we can slowly start decreasing those calories in conjunction with adding some cardio in there. So once again, coming back to the calorie expenditure versus the intake, you know, you're leveling that expenditure versus the intake out over time, thus reaching your goal. So they've got to be at a high enough calorie set point to where they're able to lose that weight over a sustained period of time efficiently, because that's where people really go wrong. A lot of people are pulling out the vague words of, you know, I eat clean, why aren't I losing weight? And it's like, well, you're eating 800 calories a day, you know, no shit, you're not losing weight, you know, and there's really no point to go from there. If you're eating 800 calories a day, you know, to lose weight, you'd have to start pushing like 1 to 2 hours of cardio a day. Once again, nobody wants to do that shit. You know, it's not sustainable. So it's about getting yourself to a point to where you can achieve that goal in a sustainable way. You know, if you build, even women, I build some of my women up to 3,200 plus calories. And for a woman, that's outrageous. That's a lot of food. And when they get to that point, you know, as soon as we drop them back to 2,700 or so at the start of their cut, they're already losing weight, losing body fat percentage. And then you start trickling it down. You know, if they're losing weight at a good rate, you drop it down to 2,600, drop it down to 2,500. And over time, they're losing that body fat. And after a couple months, you know, they're right where they want to be.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. You know, you touched about how it's like a seesaw in a way. You want to level it out. I think a lot of people miss that, man. Is they and it's very frustrating as well, as that, you know, you want to help them. They eat too little, and it pushes them away. You would think as if eating in a deficit, you would lose more, but there comes a point in time where, you know, a deficit of too much is, you know, the reverse effect. So
absolutely. Yeah, and that's where the metabolism comes into play. You know, there's a lot of factors, and that's why it's always great to work with a professional at first, so you can kind of learn your body and understand how this process is going to work. You know, same comes with volume and load. A lot of people, you know, people that just enjoy going to the gym and working out for the love of it, that's great. But when people start getting frustrated with not reaching their goals, you know, they've got to take a step back and understand why they're not reaching their goals. And like you went back to, you know, it's all about the volume. You know, when guys are just going in and getting aimless chest workouts, and, you know, they have no idea how many sets they did, how much weight they did. You know, if they did 20 sets this week of chest and they did 10 sets next week, technically they did less volume the following week than they did the week before, and their body's used to that, you know, so they're not going to grow from that because their chest was acclimated to more stimulation the week before, you know. So it's about progressive overload. You've got to keep adding more in, whether it's more weights, more sets, or more reps, you know. And the same goes with nutrition.
That's very, you know, it's like with what is it in a way, like when you build a callus, you know how you you skin your skin and the skin gets stronger, you know. I know
what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Great analogy.
Always with the analogies, man. But yeah, you know, I think one actually is really funny, dude. You posted a photo actually a while back of a comparison of two different foods. Wasn't it like a McDonald's cheeseburger and
and the salad, I think it was.
Yeah, and they were like the same calories or something crazy, right?
Yeah. And see, there's a lot of stipulations, and people get on my back about that. There's always going to be negative feedback where people are like, well, you can't tell me that Big Mac is as healthy as the salad. And Well, no, internally it's not as healthy. But when it comes down to achieving a physical goal, how your body is looking, both those foods have the same amount of calories. So whether you choose the Big Mac over the salad, you can technically lose just as much fat eating that Big Mac that day as you did the salad. Is it a healthier option in terms of diabetes and, clogging your arteries and all that shit? No. But, in moderation, those foods are okay and they can help you reach your goal just as well.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing I like to tell a lot of my students and everyone else is like, if you can still do that, just follow the 80-20 principle,
Yeah, there you go.
Clean, baby, 20% dirty.
Great rule of thumb. And, that keeps the sustainability aspect in play too. If you treat yourself to, if brownies are your favorite food, if you have 3 brownies a week, that's going to keep you more satisfied to where when you go to that party on the weekend and you see a stash of brownies, you're not going hog wild like, holy shit, I want to have one so bad, because you've already had 3 that week. You're somewhat satisfied, and that way you don't go overboard and do the whole full out binge. I'm completely against cheat meals, because when you bomb your calories out of the water, you can gain multiple pounds of fat in a day. I've seen it happen to athletes. People post competition after a bodybuilding competition, they blow up, they gain 15, 20 pounds in a day, and it's possible. And that's why when you throw these foods in moderation, it's not nearly as detrimental as eating a whole pan of brownies all at once rather than one each day or whatever.
Yeah, man. And that's, you as a competitor, both being competitors at one point, it's crazy how you can just balloon up like that. And again, going back to, it kind of goes back to that reverse dieting principle. I think a lot of people should take that into consideration. If you're ever too low in a deficit, if you're in a deficit of too low, you want to build it back up. So what would you say, kind of wrapping it up a little bit, what would you say as far as, someone again who's 200 pounds that is too low calories? What should be ideally, how much should they, if they're in a deficit of too low, how much should they eat in a reverse dieting sequence?
Yeah, it depends on their metabolism, how aggressive you'd want to be at the start. But the other rule of thumb outside of nutrition is cutting your cardio out. So if you need to build your metabolism back up with the reverse diet, you need to cut out the cardio, because that's just totally counterproductive. So you cut out the cardio and then slowly start increasing your calories. So like you said, if he's at 1,800, go up to 2,100 or 2,200 and see how your body responds in a week. If you gain 3 pounds or so, okay, maybe you need to taper it back a little bit. Maybe that next week you only add in 100 calories or so. So make small jumps here and there, based on how, everybody knows their body type, if they're prone to gaining weight or prone to losing weight easily, so just make the adjustments based on that. I'd say I usually recommend at least a 2-month mandatory reverse dieting phase. And that's why a lot of my programs are a little more lengthy, because I tell every person, hey, if your goal is to lose fat loss, we need to take at least 2 months to get you in a primal state to where we can achieve that goal of yours. So that's kind of the first step. Cut out the cardio and slowly bump those calories up over time.
And you touched on your programs. What do they consist of? What are your style of training?
Yeah, since I am a full online coach, it is completely customizable. So I've got tabs on your nutrition, your workouts, and your cardio. So technology is great, as you're kind of in the same realm as me. The online world is freaking crazy. I think it blows in-person training out of the water, obviously, depending on individual needs. But yeah, MyFitnessPal, I swear by that nutrition app. I become friends with all of my clients on that app, so I can see exactly the foods they're punching in throughout the day, exactly what they're implementing. I can see their exact fiber intake. At the end of the day, I can see the total amount of calories they consume, the protein, carbs, fats. So unless you're implementing foods that you're not actually eating, and cheating the system, then I can see if you're staying on track or not. And if you're not progressing one week, we can look back at your nutrition, look back at the workouts you've checked in for, the cardio, and see exactly where we went wrong. And that's how we can make those weekly adjustments. And, it's kind of a foolproof system as long as you're following the guidelines. And
then you said you also have a 28-day or a 4-week program too, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that is a kick-ass program. That is so much fun. I didn't know how I was going to go the first month. I launched it back earlier this year. So I've had, I think, 8 months worth, and it's a freaking blast. Everybody loves it. It's a very supportive group. I ask intriguing questions every day. I'm like, hey, what do you think has more vitamins and minerals? A cup of oatmeal, a cup of strawberries, and you get both ends of the spectrum, and it's just a freaking blast, kick-ass home workouts. So it's kind of a program geared towards people that kind of have busier lifestyles. It's based around high-intensity interval training. I know you're a huge fan of that as well. And it's all about in-home workouts, short, quick, 20-minute workouts at home, 28 days worth, and it's a freaking blast. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. That's what I love about you too, Tyler. It's you keep it, I noticed this actually recently, your questions they're very, they're sincere. You care about people. Like, you're on Facebook, you're asking genuine questions, and it's like, you're not just in it for, I want to get this person and I want to train them. Like, you sincerely care about it, and you're genuine with your message. I think that's awesome. It inspires me, man. It helped. I'm like, oh man, I want to start asking questions too. To people, I want to like, see what people, are interested in. I think that's really cool. I saw that on Facebook the other day. So, I think it's great, man.
That is much appreciated. You're getting me choked up. Come on now.
Don't cry now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why we should be in the fitness industry in the first place. I repel people that are in it for the money, or, only want to tailor towards like marketable demographics and stuff. It's like, dude, do it because you enjoy it. It's lifting for me is all about a passion. The gym for me is never a chore. It's never work, because I enjoy it, and I enjoy helping others as well. It's not about making money or making a profession out of it. It's just doing what I love. And I love helping people achieve their goals on a daily basis. I get up legit 2 hours earlier than I ever have now that I've been working on my own, because I love what I do. I used to dread getting up early if I had early clients in the morning, because I didn't like going to the gym and being under their rules and training people how they wanted me to. Now I call my own shots, and I am eager to get up every single day and serve those that I take care of.
I love it, man. So where can they find you? Where can everyone find you that is interested in your services?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got Instagram, Facebook, my personal account, my business account, logicallifting.com. That is my website. I've got my business page as well on Facebook, so I'm out there. But
cool, man. I'll link them up to the show notes. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, logicallifting.com.
Thanks, man. Hey, I've got a closing question for you. What are you most excited about for the new year, 2017? What are you most geeked up about? What do you got going on?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. Honestly, man, just, being, and I don't want to bring it on myself, but I guess, being grateful in the sense that I'm a step farther than I was last year. I'm a better person, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm wiser, and I think going into this new year, I'm going to have an even better year than 2016 was. And 2016 was amazing. And not just that, but I'm going to be able to give more this year. I'm more in like tune with and more aware with, everything in life. So I guess the definitive answer would be just being a better version of myself. So.
Oh, yeah, man. Hell of an answer. You're a great guy doing things for great reasons. So like I said, I love surrounding myself with like-minded and positive individuals. So thanks for having me on this, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. So three final questions, actually. What are you most grateful for?
What am I most what?
Grateful for.
What am I most grateful for? Oh, just life in general. I mean, even this past year, I've never really gotten out and traveled much, but this past year, having worked for my own and not really having a set work schedule, it's just been amazing to just go travel the world and see what is out there, different lifestyles, different people. I mean, it's amazing what is out there outside of, your hometown. And I'm addicted to traveling now. I love meeting new people, seeing new environments, new atmospheres, and I love being, as AJ, our mentor, always says to us, being in the present moment. Sometimes it's just nice to shut out all technology, even though we work online 24/7. It's nice to just get rid of all of that and just be present in the moment wherever you are. Whoever you're with, loved ones, just appreciate what you have in that exact moment. And that's something I've really strived to do more of.
Yeah, man, that is true, is like just being, and that's a great answer. And I think one book, if everyone's listening in right now still, is watching or listening to the audiobook, The Power of Now. That is a very powerful book. Hence the word powerful, on being present, man, just being present and living in the moment and relinquishing, any pain or worrying about anything in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess the final two things I'll ask you is what is your superpower, and how are you positively impacting this world, would you say?
Superpower is definitely teaching people to live a healthier lifestyle. Once again, going back to the whole flexibility and sustainability aspect, people think you have to make fitness your whole life to make it work, and that's so untrue. You just need to make it a part of your life, and it's making it fit into your daily habits and your lifestyle. And that's why it's so unique to every single person, because everybody's in a different situation. Even when you get a little more vague, like, oh, I like his set of abs, what's his ab workout, it's totally irrelevant. It's not going to compare to you whatsoever. Just because this person's workout routine worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You've got to tailor it to your lifestyle, how it's going to work for you. And, there's so many variables, which is why working with somebody who knows how to implement that with you is the best way to go. And that's what us professionals are here for. Everybody's got that superpower and something they're great at doing. And I think that's what everybody should align themselves with. Some people focus on, being in a career or going to school for something that their family wanted them to do or something that makes great money, and I think that's not what it's about. It's about following your passion. Find something you enjoy doing, and if you need to find a way to make some money doing it, and do that for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. So last thing is kind of wrapping it up. Let's say logical lifting was deleted. The website was gone. Let's say the internet doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, geez.
Let's say everything that you've, achieved so far and everything you will achieve that's massive and great in this world, everything that is, I guess, documented is deleted. What are your 3 truths that you've gained through life?
Ooh, you blindsided me there. Things that I've gained. So things that I've gained from that experience of losing all of that?
Yes. Just in general, what's the biggest learning experiences you've gained? How could you give someone?
Oh, man. Everything. I mean, first of all, what I would have to say is if I lost all of that, I would do everything in my last effort to build it back up because this is what I care about. I could not see myself in any other state of mind than doing what I love and being passionate about the fitness industry and helping others with something that I'm great at, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. If I had to be a freaking mechanic in a shop or something, it's not something I'm good at. I want to help the world and make my mark with something that I know I can do well. Yeah. And fitness is, everybody always asks me, isn't it so scary going out on your own, being an entrepreneur or whatever they want to call it, quote unquote, and it's just about following something that I care about. Even if it does fail a couple times, 3, 4, 5 times, I will get right back on that horse and, try it again because that's what I enjoy and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, regardless of how much money I make or if it does succeed or fail. This is what I love. So yeah, I mean, I think this is my end all be all. I will always be surrounded by fitness, even if there was no internet, like you said, if there was no logical lifting up, I didn't have a brand, I would find a way to make it again. And I would find a way to make it work, whether it had a different name, whether it wasn't technology based, I just find a way.
I love it, brother. Love it. Resilient. You're charismatic, man. And you're just genuine. I appreciate everything that you've brought to this today, man. I really appreciate everything you're doing. And, just keep up the good work. As cliche as that sounds, keep grinding, man, and just keep inspiring others into action, man. It's truly a blessing to, be in the same mastermind as you and to just work off each other and just help each other out. So thank you so much, man, for helping me. And
absolutely, man. Thanks again. Much appreciated for having me on. Like I said, it's always great connecting with like-minded individuals, and you're always so positive, so uplifting. I love seeing your content. You do live videos every day, tuning into that stuff is great. It's just that uplifting mentality, surrounding yourself with those individuals makes us all better people. So it's great having people like you in my life.
Hey, likewise, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Take care, brother.
Same to you.